Okay, so we're back with another Larry Learns, and if you've been following along, you should have a 10 foot by 10 foot square that we're looking at. If you don't, and you just got here, that's okay. We'll go R for the rectangle tool, make a square any size, we'll click, and now we'll go 10 feet by 10 feet, and we'll hit enter. Now notice, I didn't click in here to type. We never want to click in this box. That box we can type into, but we can't click into. And for now, we're just gonna, that's gonna be the rule, hard and fast. No clicking in here. Okay, so we've got our 10 by 10 square. And just something I wanted to mention from the last video, it's a good habit before you move something to click the spacebar to bring up our select tool and double click what you would like to move. Now, when you double click something, what that's going to do is it's going to select the face or the line or the point plus everything that's touching that. So if I just click off in a blank space here, you notice if I only click once, the way SketchUp segregates this image is this face, and each one of these lines is its own entity. So if we were to move this, M for the move tool, and we were to move this line, now you see only that line moves, and we can skew our object any which way we want. But let's say we don't want to do that, we'll just let go. Control Z for undo, spacebar for select, and we'll just select off there, and now we're back to our square. Now we want to move that whole square, so we double click to select it, the face of the square and everything touching it. Now when we move, we don't even need to be clicking on this square. We can move anywhere, and the same movement rules apply, whether we want to go left and right, up and down, back and forth. So again, sometimes you'll be doing something and you know it's not quite moving the way you want it to. Chances are you've selected it and it's either touching another point or face and it's trying to take that with it, or you don't have everything selected. A real easy way to keep that all straight is to make groups and make them often. We're going to get into that in a little later videos. It's not quite necessary right now while we're learning the tools, just because there's nothing for this object to get stuck to. And like I say, we'll go into a little bit more detail in some later videos. But for now, we just really want to get familiar with how each of these tools work and how many different clicks are involved in using these tools. So with that said, we're going to jump into this video and get started. So let's hit P for the push-pull tool, and let's select the face of this, and we're going to push-pull it. And same rules apply here for push-pull as for the rectangle tool. We can either click and then type 10 feet, enter, or if it's, say, an 8-foot room or whatever we're doing, 8 feet, enter. You know, we could enter it in a decimal just like before, 80.5, or pardon me, 8.5 feet, or if I wanted to, 80.5 inches. Done. Let's go back to 10 feet. So now we've got a 10 foot by 10 foot cube. And again, spacebar for select, we'll just select off of that. So now, when we double click, notice we only selected that face. So if we were to move this, M for the move tool, see how it skews this shape now in accordance with just that face. And now, same deal, we can hit just move left and right. We can just move this up and down, which is going to act very similar to a push-pull tool. And on that green axis. So let's just click off that anywhere, Control Z to go back to the square. Now let's say we wanted to move the whole cube. So that's going to be triple click. So 3 fast clicks, and what that's doing is it's selecting the face, everything attached to that face, and everything attached to that. So now when we move, it's going to act the same way. We don't even have to click on this because it's selected. We can move this around in any direction we want. So, with that said, let's get a little better view of the top of our square. We'll rotate around. And now see how we can kind of move a little bit easier now that we've got something to physically tell SketchUp, we're rotating around this object. So it should be a little bit easier to navigate for you now that we've got an actual 3D something we're looking at. So the next tool we're going to use is the line tool. So L for line tool. Now, most people when they go to use this tool, what they do is they click and they hold and they drag, and that's not the way we use this tool. So if we hover along this edge, you'll notice it snaps. It can snap to the corner, it can snap to a midpoint. We do have a tape measure tool that we'll get into, and I can draw guidelines for myself a foot in or wherever I need to. But for now, I'll just go to the midpoint and one click and go to the next midpoint and one click again. Now, notice this line tool does the same thing as the move tool. And just about every tool that we use that involves movement, we can ask it to stay on certain planes. And when there's, like I say, when there's lots going on in one of your models, and there's endless amounts of points in this and that, you're gonna come to learn that it kind of wants to jump all over the place on you. So locking the direction of these axes sometimes can be very helpful. So just draw a line down the midpoint, and now what that's done is it's told SketchUp that we've actually got 2 faces here now. If you go to your select tool. So same deal, we'll double click to select this face, and then if we hit P for push pull, we can take this face and we can push pull it to 0. We can add to it, but let's just go here and click, and then again without clicking anything, let's type in 5 feet, and now we know that that's exactly halfway. And you can see this one as well. I can push pull this face now. So let's go 5 feet there. If I wanted to push pull one of these, I could. So you can kind of see, how you can start to make some pretty unique shapes in here with this. So the next thing we're going to learn, the next tool is going to be the offset tool. It's going to be useful for exterior walls, for doors, for windows, anything you want to put a border around. It's going to be a really helpful tool. So if I've done this right, there should be a little pop-up right here. It'll take you to that next video. Thanks again for stopping by. Please click like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video.